What's up guys, it's Punchy, and once again it's time for another weekly Deepwoken update. Last time we had some pretty insane weapons with the Moon's Eye Soulthorn and the Nocturne, which you should really check out if you haven't at the Moon's Eyrie. But this time around, there's even more new stuff to enjoy alongside updates to older content. As always, try it out for yourself and test everything new, but I'll do my best to show you what's up, and let's get right into it. Starting off with something really exciting to see that I'm honestly surprised about, Deepwoken is changing for the better, granting the player free character slots based on achievements. Usually at the main menu, the only way to get these slots is by paying Robux or money straight up, but now we can actually earn them in-game. Through many different interactions, you'll be able to obtain these character slots on your main account. So one example would be having a max level 20 character slot or obtaining A rank when you wipe. So anyway, it's really nice to see the Deepwoken developers giving the entire community an incentive to unlock these achievements outside of paying money. Also, don't worry, if you already bought the max amount of character slots, these ones are extra, adding on top of the 26 current slots. In this update, the max amount of character slots you can have is no longer 26, it has now been upgraded to 32. So if you want to earn some of these additional character slots, go ahead and try it out, but they're also available to buy with Robux. Regardless, this is a really nice change for the free-to-play community, and just as a general update that's great for everyone. Hopefully in the future there'll be more achievements and way more ways to obtain these unlockable character slots. Now moving forward onto character customization, if you want even more names to pick, you're in luck. On the starter customization screen, there is now a handful of new names to pick from, with about 25 new extra neutral names, around 15 masculine names, and around 10 feminine names. There are more options to pick from. Don't worry, if you already finalized your slot, since you can head on over to the barber and change it pretty easily for some notes. Deepwoken's customization is one of its strong suits, and yeah, it's vast, and I'm always glad it's being worked on. To make this patch even better, a well-requested change was added in today's update that makes overall gameplay just so much better for everyone. Inside the 1v1 arena gameplay Chime of Conflict, after losing 3 matches, you would lose a resource with the skull system, and after losing a match 3 times in a row, you would be kicked out of the game and sent right into the depths, punished for losing. I'm not gonna lie, this turned a lot of players away from learning PvP and understanding how to improve, and it was negative for the overall game. But in this update, Chime skulls have been entirely removed, allowing players to play Chime of Conflict without any depths drawback. I do believe that this is positive for the entirety of the game, but PvP without risk may result in some issues that people haven't seen. On this note, the Chime of Conflict quest, just talking to the NPC at Songseeker, is a one-time thing, now unlocking this tool on every single slot for your account. Instead of wasting time on every single character, it's not really an issue and works like this. Finally, with a discussion of new abilities, we have a crazy new mantra that might be kind of insane. Introducing Ether Barrage. This mantra is a range attack that shoots exploding orbs on hit that ragdoll and do decent damage. Shooting directly where you aim, you can spam these from a distance, but you gotta be careful where you're aiming. If you're standing nearby, you gotta be careful with these orbs because they do explode and apply self-damage to the user. Anyway, these Sage of Six Paths, Truth-Seeking Orbs, or Zenyatta Orbs are pretty exciting, and they maintain momentum when we use them. So by running or jumping, this mantra will keep that direction and keep us moving. Bouncing back very shortly, for more accessible content, many quests have become easier. First off, the Ministry Scout who asked for the Trial of One book can be talked to, after you obtain the journal instead of beforehand, so no more back and forth is required. And even further, the Celsius Mantra quest has also become shorter after completing it on a single account. Moving on to some balancing, there's some interesting highlights that I want to discuss. Starting off with a weapon added last week, it's about time we talk about the Nocturne. So to anybody, I don't think it's a surprise that this option is getting a bit of a nerf, but in this update, its critical attack has been changed fundamentally. Previously, before this patch, you could use the critical's follow-up teleport after the initial crit was parried, and most importantly, if it was dodged. I'm not gonna lie, this was pretty unfair to fight against, forcing players to respect every single crit, well, basically ever, but now in this update, you can no longer follow up teleport if the critical is dodged. But if the critical is parried, we can still teleport, and that's also an offensive option that was kept. This adjustment is pretty interesting, but I guess we'll see if this weapon drops off in viability after the nerfs. With an update to Assassination, it's a little bit different in this current update. Right off the bat, Assassination sneak damage has been reduced, finally nerfing its output by around 75% while assassinating players in combat. Seriously, this has been an issue, dealing free damage to players very quickly. Besides that, the new Dust Lunge talent allows the user to assassinate while they're in combat, which makes it even better. Onto some smaller but interesting loot changes, it might be worth checking out Ferryman. With a full-on revised loot table, Ferryman is worth farming once again, dropping rare weapons, equipment, and less relics, so we'll see if this location is the method to farm, and you might as well check it out. Alongside this, with a massive bug fix to heavy weapons and I guess all weapons, we finally have a nerf to Movestacking with slow M1s. For some very odd reason, certain heavy weapons could activate mantras during a swing, and that became crazy very quickly. Players were hitting and dealing damage at impossible times, which was straight up unfair to fight against, but in this patch it's been hopefully removed for good. Luckily though, with a direct buff to all weapons, one-handed training is a part of your base gameplay. In this patch, you don't have to waste a talent slot to switch stances with any weapon, but for heavy weapons specifically, you must have 40 investment to switch styles. And that's about it. For right now, that's all I got, but make sure to check out Battle Royale with your friends this weekend. Conquest is still being cooked, but with a growing player base, Battle Royale might be pretty crazy as well. Anyway, for more exclusive update content similar to this, make sure to like and subscribe. We're super close to 90k subs, and let's get there. Thanks again, it's punchin' time.